How founders can build their own sales strategy. Hi, it's Patrick from the Founder Revenue Academy. This episode is part of our process series and is episode number 6. So let's get started. How I'm going to answer this is based on my own view, my fellow co-founders, having helped over 100 startups. But a sales strategy can be conceived internally by a founder following these 5 parts. This is not a sales process. A sales process is the steps of execution you go through when you're living and breathing your sales strategy. So the strategy is what you're going to do, and the process is how you're going to do it. So I've boiled it down to 5 parts, which is packed full of acronyms, but I'll explain as we go. So the first one is to define your ICP, or your ideal customer profile. To keep things simple here, these are the ideal companies that you predict are to benefit the most from your product or service. There are demographic considerations like where they're located and how many employees they've got. There are firmographic considerations like what type of company, what stage they're at. And then there are also technographic considerations like what technology do they use. You might have a solution that is a plug-in to Office 365. So typically you're probably going to go after Microsoft companies, for example, and not Google ones. So that'd be step 1. Step 2 is your TAM, so your total addressable market. So at this stage, keep this to your top 100 prospects, i.e. your top 100 accounts you've identified that you want to go after. This means you are targeted, you can keep focused, and you don't get distracted going after the next shiny thing. Having a top 100 means that you, at the most, are looking to onboard a few of these customers as customers, and not being pulled in many different directions. Third step is your value proposition. So this is the offer that you're bringing to market. So who you're helping and what outcomes do they achieve? This is what your value proposition is. So often in businesses, they are going to be short value props on their website and then slightly long explainers. So for example, the big unified communications company Twilio has the value proposition on their website of Twilio customer engagement platform, data-driven customer engagement at scale. Twilio powers personalized interactions and trusted global communications to connect you with customers. So this is the kind of thing you want to consider for your business. 10, 15-second explain what it is that you do, who you help, and what the outcome is. So you won't get it right first time, by the way. It does take a number of versions to settle on something against other people's ideas, but you need to do it. And it's not a 15-minute diatribe on your business, because nobody wants that and nobody will remember or indeed is interested in that kind of thing. So next up, step 4 is your top of funnel process. This fundamentally in this context means prospecting. So the identification of the relevant people in your ICP, which we call the buyer personas, and then looking at ways in which to contact them. Phone is best, then social, then email. Why? Because the phone gets you the quickest response. Social is what people operate on, and in email is a final ditch attempt. It definitely works, but it's just a very, very noisy channel, especially in the last 2 years. So that's something to remember. Finally, step 5 is to document things as you go. Now, I often talk about this in these videos, which is being able to document and pull together all of these key processes, because it's going to save you months when you scale. But for example, what you would do is if you're running through this process and talking to people, you'd open a Google Doc, you'd start writing the things that you do, the activities you do, things you say as you progress. There might be certain emails that you sent out where you think, actually, I can template this. So you write that template and then you've got it there. And this has 2 benefits. One, it helps spot opportunities for improvement, and also it will help new joiners when they come on board by providing the playbook of the whole journey from lead capture to contract close, which if you build as you go, saves you months, as I said. So your first issue when you start the business is to figure out who you're selling to, what you're selling them, and which problems this fixes, and then why they should buy. This is top of funnel. Trying to optimize for negotiation on price, for example, at this stage is not something you should concern yourself with, because it will come later down the line. You want to be able to identify, this is the problem I need to fix now. These are problems that can wait because we're not there yet. So you trailblaze and document as you go, and then bring others along for the rides to take up from where you left off. So that wraps up today's video. Remember, we create these videos a lot to help our founders and run these mini-series on all the key pillars of scaling B2B tech startups. So if you haven't seen the other videos in the process series or the other series at all, please check them out. And also don't forget to join our community where the link is below, where you'll see all this content and get to interact with many like-minded founders. So I'll see you in there.